People see my last name as Healy and assume that I was destined to play cricket, but I did not want a bar of it early on. Eventually I fell into the game and played a lot of boys cricket growing up, and it sort of took me a while to come across to the women's game simply because I didn't know that it was available. So eventually ended up in the Premier cricket system here in Sydney in the women's grade comp, and that sort of set me on my path, obviously to where I'm sitting here today. Moved down to Sydney when I was 7. Dad was working for AMP at the time and got a role down here, and I still remember the day he came home and told us that we were moving, and I burst into tears, thinking the world was ending and it was going to change everything. But I ended up actually starting playing cricket down in Sydney, so everything happens for a reason, and we ended up coming down here and I picked up cricket, and I guess the rest is history. I'm still a Queenslander by birth, so it's the maroon jersey 3 days a year for State of Origin. Obviously Uncle Ian was a big part of me watching cricket as a youngster. I think him wicket-keeping at the time was obviously a pretty cool thing, that I'd just started playing cricket and found myself with the gloves more often than not with that last name, and all of a sudden I could see him on the TV and what he was doing, and that was kind of a really cool thing. But it was sort of my dad taking me down to the nets and throwing me balls for hours on end, and obviously he played probably a big part of my career and where I've got to. He was probably the big one for me, and I got to credit Mum for driving me everywhere as well. A couple of highlights are probably making my Test debut at Bankstown. Quentin Bryce actually presented me with my baggy green, which is fairly unheard of, so that was an amazing moment. But I guess to win the trio of World T20s was an unbelievable experience. To be a part of 3 in a row World Cup is something that you don't see very often, and that was probably, and will probably be, one of the highlights of my career looking back on it.